All right, so welcome everyone, welcome. Hope you all had an amazing Tuesday. It is now around 7:40 p.m. The delay is very necessary, but nevertheless, we're here. Of course, I'm your host, La'Tanya Moore-Newsome. This is the two-edged sword. I want to give sponsorship shouts first before we start. I want to do the first one is Antonio Von. He's from Louisville, Kentucky. Up and coming, amazing author. You can get his social media at M as in Mary, dot O as in orange, dot A as in apple, dot K 365. I'll put everything in the description afterwards and it'll also be added to YouTube. I also want to give the second sponsorship to Tink, Face by Tink. This is my personal makeup artist. You can find her on IG at Face by Tink. I'll leave her information in the description. Any shadow colors, any foundation colors, combinations, leave it in the description. She'll get back with you. She's amazing and a sweetheart to work with. I also want to give shout out to our special guest, which is going to give you his personal information, all his things himself. He's going to tell you a little bit about him as they normally do, and then we'll get into our topic number one for this evening. Feel free to give your questions as usual. We'll answer when we catch them, and let's enjoy the show.
Hey, I'm Jericho Wiggins. I'm with Jumpman Sports Conditioning. I do sports conditioning training for youth athletes all the way up to professional to help condition and strengthen them. I'm a Georgia native, and I'm located in Stone Mountain, Georgia, 1999 Parker Court, Suite A as in Apple. My IG is Jumpman Conditioning. My Facebook is Jumpman Conditioning as well.
Thank you. Thank you. We got it. So let's see. We're going to talk about what is women. What is your I am? When I say what is your I am to your mate, because you know we're having this conversation, your I am is your inner self. I am, like for me, I'm loved, I'm grateful, I'm an amazing woman, I'm a successful entrepreneur, like it's your I am. So when we take a look at what our ams are, then we're able to kind of see more inside internally. Like I feel like women don't understand who they are in turn. If I don't know who I am, I don't love who I've become, there's no way I could possibly love somebody else. Couldn't love and understand who I need to be to my mate. And I also noticed because of that, the roles have reversed. So I am a woman. I am not a man. I am not the leader. I am the support system, your support mate. And I want women to understand what the real position is. Yes, you can be independent. Yes, you can take care of your things, handle your business, not be barefooted pregnant, so to speak, the old-fashioned way, but there's still boundaries when it comes to that. Because we've now let society condition us to make us think because you're making a significant amount of money, or even just able to really just take care of yourself in general, that you are now taking the place of the man. So unless you can fully stand and say, I am a man, you're out of position. So we need to bridge that gap, which is why this is one of our most important topics, a topic I actually love. Yes, I love women because I am a woman, but at the same time, I'm not benefiting anyone if I'm telling you it's okay. I'm not saying that it's okay for you to understand that, where your position is. And I know there's a lot of women out here that say there's no good men. We hear that. Or, you know, all the good men are gone, or they here, there, or whatever. And they don't really sit back and say, like, take accountability for yourself. What are you pouring in? Like, if you're attracting men that are not, so to speak, good quality men, that means at that point, unfortunately, sis, you're not a good quality woman. That's just what it is. And it could be vice versa. We're not getting on the men this week. We on us, because it starts with us. You the mother. You mother the children at home. You raise the children at home. You instill all the morals and the ethics and all the good traits you should. That starts at home, and it starts with the mother. So they automatically are part of us. We're carrying them, everything. So it starts with the women. The women shape the universe. The women have played a large part in how we move going forward. So this is why I feel like it's imperative to make sure the women are in line. If we're out of line, the whole world's out of line. It's just, I mean, we just really being honest. However, it is still a man's world. We just shape it. So let's get into that. So when you say, I'm looking for a woman, what is it that a man is actually looking for? Like, what are these things that they look for if they're looking for, like, a woman, a real good quality woman? What traits does she
Quality
possess?
woman, look for quality man, right? Okay, that's two different. Look for quality and quality. My opinion and the way I feel about it is that I think a quality man, he looks for femininity and he looks for peace. That's the first thing. Because those are things that you cannot buy. You know, those are things that don't matter what your occupation in life is, how much money you make. If you can't bring femininity and peace to a man's life, then that stuff isn't, we don't worry about the rest of the stuff. So that's the foundation.
So you mean I could not have this amazing job and be riding this amazing vehicle and have all these zeros down my account? I'm still gonna have a problem getting men? Like, what? So those things don't matter?
No, because if you think about it, sad to say, but the way the world is, the way that society has conditioned, speaking from the guy's point of view, the way society has conditioned women now is that they want the woman to feel like they need everything that they expect from the man to be attractive. That they have to have the qualities of being a provider. They have the qualities of being strong. They have to have the qualities of being self-sufficient. They have to have the qualities of being everything that they feel like a man should bring. They chase that to make the thing that we are attracted to that.
Interesting, because I would think, again, because I'm not the man, all my traits are going to be the opposite. I should be the opposite of what yours are, right? Again, it's appreciated. And to be honest, once they understand, or we as women understand what our sole purpose is, and that's why I don't think women know. They don't understand what their sole purpose is to even be here. Our sole purpose is to create more life,
right,
and be there for the man.
Right.
If you with a guy, gentleman, husband, whomever, and there's someone that you feel like you can't cater to, you can't bring him, like you said, you can't bring him peace and solitude, and you just feel used, awkward because you're taking care of your man, I feel like that's just blatantly the wrong man. Because the right man, when you take care of a man, a man, the correct way, he's gonna automatically take care of you. It's not, no, well, I'll do this. Women tend to do this too. Well, we both do. Well, when he shows me this, then I'll show him that. Or when she shows me this, I'll show her that. It's solely on us. We've been right. It's solely you know what I mean? Like you said the other day, I know what I want my suitor to look like, but at the same time, it's up to him, you, or whatever, to come and say, you know what, I want to present you with this offer, and then I either accept or reject. And I feel like women feel like men are supposed to chase them.
Being a hunters, we're natural chasers. You know, it's okay. It's okay. But the thing about it is that now men are doing a lot less chasing.
Absolutely.
Because of the fact that it's like it's hard. Like it is so hard to not impossible, but hard to just make eye contact with a woman. She just smile friendly now. Like they don't smile. Like most women do not smile anymore. So that's a chase that we not. If you smile, then we're gonna chase the smile. We're gonna chase the feminine. You know what I mean? And then if you smile and that's not the guy that you want to be chased by, you just smile. You make it clear, hey, I'm just speaking. I don't know, I'm okay. But it's just the way. So the chase has been cut down because of the hard exterior. Because if you think about it, your women say that they want somebody to communicate, right? All right, cool. But you got to understand that your facial expression is a communication. You know what I mean? That's a communication tool. If you see somebody's crying, you know they're sad. See somebody laugh, you know they're happy. See somebody smile, you know they're friendly. So see somebody frowning up, you know they probably got an attitude. So so the chase is different now.
I don't agree with that, and it tends to now make the male be less reluctant to even approach you. I've heard this time and time again, because again, if I hadn't been out there like that in so many years, now that it's there, I definitely see all these things I heard about. In a store yesterday, and this is where exactly what you was talking about came in play. And I remember me and my daughter was in there, and I kind of like show her, so I kind of critique them too when I see things. I see a pattern that they're following, that's a pattern that society has structured up. The guy clearly, when I'm in the aisle, he's in the aisle. But when we meet this way, he looks at me like he's checking to see exactly what my face look like. I'm a smiley person anyway. Even when I be trying to be serious, I'm smiling. But I could tell that he was spiritual, like, if I say something, I want to say something, but if I say something, she's probably gonna like snap. And so I spoke first and just said, how you doing? And kept going, because really that's just polite, period.
Right.
Like, and to be honest, was it like it was interest on my side? But just so as a man and a black man, you will understand that every time you cross a woman, she's not bitter and angry, and that bitterness comes from a whole different thing. These other things and topics we'll get into, because you know that women have their own that tough exterior up, and I feel like if they let their guards down and understand, I am a woman, I am feminine, I am peace. You know what I mean? Like, I am solitude. Once they continue, because I'm huge, we know affirmations. You have to retrain the brain and do a whole paradigm shift, ladies, in order to attract what it is you're attempting to attract, wanting to attract, bring into your life, etc. You absolutely can't say, I want this type of man, and then you're not that type of woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it don't add up. And men say that too. You want a man, I want a man at a good job, this and that, and then you don't have a good job. You don't have your own stability. You're gonna be a burden for this man. Like, it's gonna be added on to the everyday burdens. So I want women to understand what, where they stand. Right now, we're in a bad place.
Yeah.
Where we stand is in a really bad place.
I would even take it further than that. Not even the fact that having a man with a good job and you have a good job. I'm gonna take it a little bit deeper. Having a man with a good job and you know how to fix that man lunch to appreciate him going out.
Taking notes, ladies.
You know what I mean? Having the capability to show you how much you appreciate him by fixing him lunch when he goes out to his good job. You gotta have a good job with him. You know what I mean? Because when we go out in the world, we're going out in the world with an attitude that we have to conquer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have to conquer. We have to provide. We have to put up with everything in the world, but we want to keep you safe, and you just do what you do. See, but now it's opposite. Now women feel like they have to go out and fight the world. And I understand, because if you single, then you solo, you independent. You have to be those things. I mean, but it's that, how can you be independent when it's two? It's called codependent.
Codependent.
So whenever you get a person that say, I want to be in a relationship and I'm independent, like, it's really two is code.
Right, that is. And it's interesting as we go into our second topic, goes exactly into what you just said about the man goes out, fight the world, does what he need to do, and the woman should be preparing him. The second part of this is, what should you really be bringing to the table? And as a woman, what should we really be bringing to the table? I mean, like, you kind of really said it in the morning. My man is getting up. He's getting ready to go to work. If he's a breakfast eater, I know I need to be up making breakfast. Unless the night before, he's like, babe, like, I gotta get up really early. I know your schedule, or what have you are. Matter of fact, I'm gonna fix his breakfast, and I know you have dinner. Like this, these are gonna not be set in stone things, because every household and every situation is different, so to speak. But as long as it works for you two, it'll be great. We can't, absolutely can't send the man on his way. It's like sending your child. It's a good example. Your mother, you women are mothers, majority of us are mothers, and it's your child's week for school. Do you not help this child get dressed? Do you not make sure that your child has his backpack with all this necessary equipment? You know, the pencil, the pen, the pad. If they take lunch, do you not make sure you prepare that lunch? Send this, you know, this young man, this young woman on their way safely to school. Are you not making sure that when they come home, they see mom's face? You know, like the kids love to see mom's face. No, I'm not saying that men are children. What I'm saying is these are things that need to be done in order for them to face them 6 hours, get on the bus, you know, to teach them me, whatever, what have you. This is just opposition. That's why we were created to be nurturers. You should automatically, as a woman, have that instinct. Baby, are you hungry? Baby, like, you should know your man. What do you like for dinner? What's your favorite? Like, that's why you should be asking all these questions. I should already know them, not just to ask them, but to implement those things for the man. So that's interesting that you say that. So we know that we need to prepare the meals and make sure you're good. What else is it that you guys look for?
I would say physical. The physical, the appearance, the sex appeal, keeping yourself up. You know, it's a thing that a lot of people say that when we first started, we used to go out and date. We don't date no more. But at the same time, sometimes when we first started, you just carry yourself this way, but you don't carry yourself that way anymore. So it's just the appearance, sex appeal, attraction.
That actually is interesting. So what you do to get me is what you do to keep me.
Always.
You know what I mean?
Plus,
like
plus some.
Plus some. Plus some. Okay. As it progresses, there definitely, I agree, there definitely should be more accountability on that end as well. We need to understand that's everybody's love language is different, and that's why it's important for women to understand after they find out who they are. Do a lot of shadow work coming within, because no matter what we say here, and we're giving this information, if you're not working on yourself, then it's gonna be like a beating a dead horse, so to speak. So make sure you're working on yourself. Make sure you are absolutely, as a woman, happy with yourself. Make sure you're grateful where you at in your life. So then that type of man is what you're going to attract, and he's going to see those qualities already, if you agree with me or not, in you himself. But then after you get to that point, you have to understand exactly what makes this man move, what makes him tick. Yes, it's our responsibility, just like it's theirs when we're talking about the man. Understand what your woman likes. What is it going to make her smile, etc. Ours is, what is going to bring you peace? I'm big on that and comfortability. Like, when your man comes home, he should be comfortable. It doesn't matter. You could be going to his place. You know the layout of the land, his domain, and you there. Sometimes it'd be like, oh, baby, I'll be there. Like, meet me at the house. I get off work, whatever. Make sure when he comes to home, his home, your home, that there's something to come home to. Else he can come home by himself, and there's no need for you at all. And then we don't understand why men roam. It's because I've always been a believer. Sometimes, not all the time, don't kill me. There's nothing the woman is doing wrong, so to speak. But in that instance, you're not dealing with a man. You're dealing with a young man that's not matured and grew up and understood. So I'm not saying every time a man does something wrong, it's the woman. I'm saying is we have to absolutely step our game up and put in the initiative. It's hard work, but we have to put in the initiative. I mean, it's some things that I did throughout the course of being married that was exhausting. You know what I mean? But I didn't look at it as exhausting. I looked at it as, he gonna be happy. This is gonna make him smile. This man's going out fighting the world. Every man that step outside their door is in danger every single time.
And,
every single time.
And that's a thing that that I always remind people is that when I have these conversations, they say they didn't do anything wrong. And I said, what's the difference in taking a test and getting all the answers wrong and not putting no answers at all? You're still going to be a failing grade. And sometimes we think that our actions is what cause people to do things, but sometimes us not doing nothing cause people to do things. You know what I mean? And that works both ways. Because a woman can have a guy who just boring, dull, just no excitement, sex the same way, they done got predictable, and you know that he's working and paying bills. He didn't do anything wrong. He's not doing anything.
He's not doing anything.
He's not doing anything.
Right, yeah, that's their accountability and the initiative. I think that's also the initiative coming in. You know, is we have a conversation about the pole in the basement. I've always said right now, I've had a pole in my basement for like 20 years or something. But that's for a reason. Right. It's the initiative. Right. And whether it gets used frequently or not, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So I teach her to stay ready, you don't have to get ready. You know what you need to do as a woman. Once we understand the difference in, you and I are not the same. Mm-hmm. We could be very compatible, but we're not the same. You have a whole different line of attributes that you bring to the table. I have another different attributes, but together they work cohesively. So I am out of my position and my divine position trying to play your role. Mm-hmm. That's just as well as vice versa. So I cannot expect to get what I want. I have this divine union and I'm not in my divine position. So once we also understand being out of position just alone, I feel like that will put a lot of things, you know, back on track and line a lot of things up for us. So tell the women, like, what are some things, some key things, if you want to tell them, we got all these women that are interested in, hey, like, I don't have a man, I can't find a man, or the men are good quality, whatever. Like, what would you say to the women? Let's say we have the good women. We have all these great women with their thing, you know, they got their attitudes together, etc. Not. Let's start with the women that have it all together, that are single though.
Okay. So what the question was?
Tell them what it is. Give them some pointers on what they could do to attract a great quality man.
Realistic expectations. Realistic expectations. I think that the word relationship should be spelled real relationship. REAL relationship. It should be real relationship. Mm-hmm. I think that a lot of women that I have came across have an expectation that we're not talking about the finances, we ain't talking about just the height requirements and stuff like that. But the unrealistic expectation that we're gonna respond to everything like you're gonna respond to everything. That we're gonna have all the same interests that you're gonna have. So a prime example of that is when they say, I want somebody that like to travel all the time, because I travel all the time. That's what you do. Mm-hmm. I want somebody who's gonna not be stagnant and gonna grow in their occupation. But if that man has been in his job, that's his career, he's like where he's at, then you can't make him be no. So it's the unrealistic expectations that a lot of women have now. It's a turn off to them, and they just.
So then we have the not being approachable. Mm-hmm. We have the thinking that because you're successful that you automatically entitled to having a good man. Mm-hmm. Now we have the unrealistic expectations. So these are 3 points, valuable points, ladies, that hopefully are clearing some things up for us. Which are actually, I gotta definitely say, they definitely some good points. We know that we need to be attentive. We know that we need to be held accountable for our actions and also lack thereof. So no movement is not just, okay, I'm not gonna get up or I'm not gonna do this for him, I'm not gonna do that. That's gonna get you absolutely nowhere. Actually, I find that the women that do less really put in initiative to go the extra mile. Again, the love language thing. Know what your man's love language is. That's the first thing. If you know his love language is the gift of touch, then you should be physically touching your man. That's his love language. That's going to be his one of his turn-ons. That's going to be one of the things that when you go to work, I believe like going to work, like you should be doing little things while he's at work 6, 8 hours, 10 hours out of the day. I know I want you thinking about me
Right.
during the day.
Right.
So whatever that means for you, like, let me know, because that's what I'm doing. You need to stay on top of mine. And then they wonder, we'd be like, oh, well, what did Rob cheated on me, or I caught Rob with the side chick, or whatever. And then I'll be like, okay, so there's two sides to every story. You know what I mean? Like, so was you doing everything? Like, really doing everything? And when you were doing everything, how was your attitude? You know, like the Bible say, even the Lord loves a cheerful giver. Are you like, oh my gosh, I gotta cook, I gotta clean? Like, enjoy what you're doing for your spouse, because it's gonna show. It's like you cooking, you don't really want to cook. 9 times out of 10, that meal is not the greatest, or is you're rushing or what have you. It's not gonna be the greatest. So when we look to say, okay, I am grateful, I want to attract somebody that's going to display gratitude. I'm going to attract that, because that's what I'm putting out. So even what you said with unrealistic expectations, if we put out what we are on the inside, we're going to attract exactly what's going to pair up with us. So if like to force it, like you were saying, is going to be something completely different.
Right.
Forcing the unrealistic expectations, and you guys may not even pair up well. So that's why you're looking now. We're all looking for that fit. I call it the fit. Like it just has to fit. And when the fit happens, like, good, you're gonna know it. So yeah, those are some good ones. And if you have anything else to say on that, bring it to the table.
I would say that I think that once man and woman know how to play the game of finesse with each other, it works out better. So most people take finesse in like a negative way. But what I mean by finesse is, let's say for example, if you input your feminine energy, I'm gonna output my masculine energy. So prime example, if you say, baby, I want this, I want that, and you know we can afford it, and you smile, do this, and you put your feminine energy, then my masculine will be like, let me provide and give. You know what I mean? If I put forth my masculine energy, would say, you know what, let me go out and work hard, take care of the house, let me go cut this grass, make sure her tires are changed, make sure she got gas in her car, make sure that, you know what I mean? Put my masculine leadership energy, then you're gonna put out that feminine energy. Because if you think about it, whenever the situation goes south, we pull away those energies. You know what I mean? Whenever it goes bad, no matter if I display my masculine energy, your feminine energy of sex, you're going to withdraw that from me. You know what I mean? Or either if we in a bad term and you put out your feminine energy, my masculine energy, I'm going to start providing in some kind of way. That is my masculine energy, it's my masculine trait. So you have to finesse the situation to make both people happy.
It's like a tug of war, but in sequence. That was kind of what we were saying earlier. Like, if I'm giving you without adding, and this is another thing, like, even myself, I don't like to have to ask. Now, I may be inclined to say, you know what, babe, I like A, B, C, X, Y, Z. And I'm telling you that so that you can store that in your memory. Right. And then you see a time like, you know what, I remember Tanya likes this. Let me do that. The same thing, I ask questions because I'm taking a whole database. Women like, no, again, I think we don't take the time to know what each other's wants are, must-haves, dislikes, likes, what makes you tick, what makes you stop ticking. Like, we have not done those things. So as we going into the second half, it's going to be, what is it that your I am can get? How do we use our I am? It's what it was to get, attract, and keep the man. So now we have our I ams. We've done our shadow work, women. The women are smiling, they looking fabulous, they happy, they working out, because this is another thing we just talked about. See, I don't even want a man out of shape. Call it what you want, but we definitely need to look good together. If you feel good, you look good, you feel good. We make, like, that's why you see the images of really attractive couples, families, so to speak. You don't really see the opposite. One, it displays a sense of dis-ease, unhappiness, because most of the time you overeat because you're stressed, etc., things like that. And that's what I would see if I see an image of, you know, my situation looking like, well, baby, you picked on 20, 30 pounds. Like, I'm going to be like, we got all these gyms around here. Like, matter of fact, when we go to the basement, because not only appearance-wise, and as you were saying, like, being sexually attracted, because we definitely have to be attractive. For the most of us, should be attractive, you know, to our mate, and our mate attractive to us. So not only is it for the sex drive, the getting, all of that stuff, also health-wise. For me, it's going to be health. On top, it's definitely going to be health. We're all at an age and a stage where, you know, we right at our peak, and then as you go uphill, the next thing is, we being realistic, is down. So we want to be the best version of our down as we could be. We're on our third topic now. So your I ams together, but yes, health is big. We've got all these things together. We've done these things, putting in the work, so to speak. Now I want to know. I'm doing my thing. I'm now modest. I understand how to fall back when a man is being a man, which is a huge point. I hope y'all take it back, because a lot of times we are super rebellious. Like if he puts his foot down and say something, instead of you saying, okay, babe, I get it, or us saying that, it's like, are you telling me? What? Are you? No, this is how I've been doing it, or this is what I want to do. Once we definitely, the respect is gone. I definitely feel like the respect is gone, and that's a big reason why you get the attitude when we work. And these women, again, they internally damaged. That's hands down. For you to just be mean mugging a complete stranger, that's some inner work.
Right.
And then know you're not gonna get a man. Like like I wouldn't come to you if I was a man. What would I need to do, or what's some steps that I would do? So okay, I want this great man. I got my stuff together. Got myself together. What is it? I got somebody in mind. What is it that I would do to make sure I kept his attention or reeled him in, so to speak? So the whole name of the game, we got this cat and mouse game. That's what this is.
Right.
So the cat always want to catch the mouse. Does he hardly? Sometimes they do, sometimes you don't. It's a cat and mouse with us. So if I'm whoever is chasing, we chasing, being chased, the objective is to ultimately, right, capture. How would I capture that fit, that one that fits? What are some things that I could do?
Good question. I would say first you have to understand man, we're visual creatures. We're visual creatures, so I would say if you're around that, if you're in the same area with that man a lot, be consistent with how you smell, how you keep your looks up, how you display like a soft feminine attitude, you know, and even again play that input-output game. Ask for some help when you really don't need it. Trying to get attention. You know,
He know a secret.
You got it. Cause think about it. Now, as that male warrior, now we get to display all trait of our manhood. Like, okay, that's for some help now. You know what I mean? Because what women don't realize is that simple stuff.
Simple.
If a man take you to the movies and you said that movie sucked, as a man, we feel like we failed.
Right.
That little bit of thing. But if you say that was the best movie ever, we feel like we just bought you a whole new crib, because now we are fixers. We want to please. So I would say again, if you are interested in a guy and you in that guy's space, continue to look good, continue to smell good, and just and keep displaying a feminine attitude and smiling, and ask for some help. Just ask me to do something, to just lift something, lift a box of paper. Could you? I think I left my keys in my car. Could you? Just something we have to display. And then, but not only that, but guess what? If he has an issue doing that, then he's automatically eliminated anyway.
Absolutely.
You know, if that man can't carry your box to your car, box of paper to your car, like if he can't do the simple shit, You know, he's automatically eliminated.
So what about the scenario? Women, we know we outnumber the men more than 2 to 1, to speak. And again, I'm in line, I'm in alignment. I know what I'm going for, I know what I'm looking for. But now it's competition.
Of course.
Again, in that scenario, because now we have the competition, what would be her step up? So women, we could always say, girl, yeah. And there's a lot of things he said is definitely true. Definitely. Taking care of you to attract taking care of her to attract him would be great. But now we have him, her, and possibly her and a half.
Mm-hmm.
What would I do? It's like we playing Jeopardy. We playing a game. You know, there's competitors. Everybody wants to win the prize.
Right.
I want my prize.
Right.
We want the prize, ladies. All right. So, how would I get the #1 spot? Like, how would I be able to do that?
That's a hard question. I would say that one, it has to be the energy has to be on the same vibration. Because even though there is 10 women in front of you, they may not have a good attitude. They may not know how to smile. They may not know how to say the right thing. They may not know how to nurture and cater for the smaller things that man likes. So, but if you guys are on the same wavelength and y'all are vibing, it's kind of hard to see anything else. You know what I mean? So, because what's for you is going to be for you.
Absolutely.
And if y'all on the same wavelength, y'all vibrations are the same, and y'all really getting to enjoy each other. And because let me show you here, let me give you a prime example. You can be out in public and have an interesting conversation with anybody, whether it's the same or the opposite sex. And that conversation is so interesting, you won't know who walked by you.
Right.
Because your attention, you're engaged.
Okay.
That's the same way. You have to have that energy where no matter what has come by, he's like, you may be taller, you may got a bigger butt, you may got but we ain't.
Y'all really that smart though? Y'all right?
Some of us are.
So being really that intelligent, that's like, because that's going to be definitely the thing that we think is like, okay, so because again, we're going in it blindsided. So even for me, it's like, okay, not like you said, what's for you is for you, and if you manifesting that, bringing it in, and that's what you're asking for, and it presents itself, there's a great chance that that's what it is, right? But then we're on the outside, blindsided, looking in, like, and we see nothing, because all we see is what you display. Like, okay, the man when he comes, he's nice, you know, we play coy with each other at times, like he's attentive when you need to be, picks up the phone, calls, or whatever the dynamics of it is. But however, that's just what we see. That's just on that side. So, yeah, we be thinking like, okay, so what else is it? Is it somebody, girl? It ain't nobody. Yeah, it's somebody or whatever. So my always thinking is like, okay, let me be Tanya. What you see with me is what you get. You know, it's gonna be extra, so to speak. A lot of people say extra. If this is what extra is, just be it. Then I was created extra. So it has to be a man that's okay with extra. If that's what we're saying, I feel like I'm just realistic. I'm imperfectly imperfect. I laugh, I cry, I get upset, I'm happy, I don't. But one thing I've learned through the course of being a wife is that's my top priority outside of myself. Yes, I come first. And I come first right now because it's just me.
Right.
It's just me. Honestly, when it's not just me, my happiness comes from him being happy. And it helps with the advices. This is what we do. That's the nurturing, the caring. So once we understand to just be who we are, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it was a lesson. The experience was a lesson. I just hope it works for all of you. I hope every time we come on every week that it's going to be something that the women and men take away from because they both watch and it's going to be something that propels them to the next level. Because I feel like once we get back to our place, for instance, the music, remember how the music was so, you know, the couples, and yeah, you had a little squabble here and there, and by the end of the song, you got Johnny Gill or somebody coming knocking on the door, or coming back or whatever. Like, that's what we don't have. We miss. Now we have so many opportunities and quote unquote options that it's like, oh, she did something wrong. Let me go over here and call. No, he did something wrong. Let me call dude. Like, I didn't like the way we paid for half the meal, like whatever. And I feel like we get so distracted in that, but that brings on a sense of fear of rejection, more fear of rejection, because now we have all these things. Your options. If you're going to work, the chances of you running into a woman at lunchtime, busy, in Atlanta, you probably will, that you find attractive. But we now have online dating. We swiping. You just swipe and pick who you want. That is a huge distraction. So we're up. Not that y'all not up against it, but we're up against all of that.
Yeah. And it's just that right now, it's that we have what I call we press the reset button too much. There's something, little thing that we don't like, we press reset, get rid of it, start over. Reset, she said something. Reset, she ain't did. Reset, we got that reset button. We press that reset button like every time something don't go right, we want to reset and go to the next person.
Right.
So I think that has to do with those options we talked about. But stop pressing reset.
Right. How you going? I mean, nobody's perfect, right?
Right.
And without us learning, and here's how we learn. If I say something that you wasn't too keen on, and then, okay, we don't talk for some hours, or maybe later that night, you pick up the phone and call you, and be like, hey, babe, earlier, let's have a conversation. And that's because that's a healthy way. Another thing we have to get to the topic is having a healthy way of communicating and going and doing what we need to do for one another. So I feel like that is definitely a topic that we'll discuss, because we unhealthily deal with one another. The healthy way that men and women, especially in our communities, deal with each other, very unhealthy. I seen a woman talk so bad to a man. I don't know why I'm going to say it. I don't know why he slapped shit out of her. I'm just going to say it. You should never, ever talk to a man like that in that manner where, like, that's why men are aggressive like they are. And that's why you get a lot of side chick action, because you doing all of this at home for the wrong reasons on the wrong part, and then he's going over here and she ain't doing nothing but looking good, smelling good.
That's it.
Everything, like, just peace. Be his peace. It's simple. It really is simple. But again, when their mindset's been, I'm the man, I am the man, I am my own provider, I am independent, I am successful, I am, like, those I ams those are your I ams. So you can't expect a man, like, you the man. A real man's not gonna be with you playing the man.
No.
So that's not rocket science either. So once we do our paradigm shift mentally, work on ourselves mentally, and then inwardly work on your spirit, these things are going to come. Because like attracts like.
Right.
Good spirits attract good spirits. Bad spirits attract bad spirits. Take accountability and take a look at yourself. When you look in the mirror tomorrow, don't just look and put your makeup on, do your hair, and look like dead look within yourself. And write down some things that you like, you know what, I could work on this. I noticed that about myself. And when you hold yourself accountable for those things, you then are going to attract better things, not even just in the relationship sector, but financially, spiritually, mentally, like your world is going to align. So we can't take our energies out of, like you said, the energies, everybody's quick to say, are we vibing? Are we got a vibe? Know what that vibe really is. Know what that is. Not just speaking, but know exactly what that is. So upon closing, what would be your last words that you would say to the audience?
On the topic, I would say, first of all, if you're not at peace with yourself, then you're not going to bring peace to anybody else, whether it's a guy or a friendship or either co-workers. And I say that be realistic with yourself. That's everybody. We have to be realistic with ourselves, because sometimes the stuff that we ask for, we can't get because we're not able to handle those things yet. We haven't put ourselves in a situation to prepare for those things. So I think one that safety preparation is key, and just always strive one day to be 1% better.
Good. That's a good note. Again, I hope everybody took notes, took advantage of this amazing session we had. And if we have any questions, I'm sure our cameramen are going to let us know, and we can, I think probably beyond them, we probably have questions. Because they're good questions. I want to check that out. And we can solidify those. The women probably like, first thing, what they doing? They good for that, answering questions. You see anything about it? What about you, DJ? You see any questions? What you guys know? Okay, they know what this work is. So in closing, again, I want to thank everyone for your time. Your time is definitely valuable. We definitely respect it. Hence why I do not air on Sundays anymore, because right now it's football season. Because I love men, I understand I do not want you to make a decision if you want to watch me or if you want to watch football, because I'm probably not going to win that fight. So I'm going to work smarter, not harder, on Tuesdays evenings. So we definitely thank you. I will be checking the DMs and the inbox. If you have any questions for this amazing man right here, definitely let us know, message, and I'm going to let him say his social media again, and we'll close out.
Again, that's Jumpman, Jumpman Conditioning. There's IG and Jumpman Conditioning on Facebook.
Thank you for being involved. I appreciate you for following through. It's just a lifesaver. It's an idea. But in closing, I want to say that you all are amazing. Know who you are. Be yourself. Love yourself. Then you can love others. Thank you for your time. Good night.